Hello, everybody. This is a new little thing I'm doing here, and I'm using this app to kind of, record the screen. But my name is Jacob, and I am here today to address something that has been, on my mind a lot recently. It's been something that I have known for a long time, and I feel like today is the day that I'm going to call it out. There's me up there. You can see my face there, but I don't have a face cam on right now because I look like ass. But so today, we're going to be discussing this guy right here. His name is Ralph Smart, runs the channel Infinite Waters Diving Deep. And I could say that I'm a longtime veteran of this channel. I've been watching him since about late 2015, I'd say. So I've been listening to this guy for a long time. One of my friends actually got me into him, and over the last few years and whatnot, he gives pretty decent advice on how to have your mindset, how to view life, how to have your perception of life be good. And I gotta admit, early Ralph Smart helped me out through a lot. But I want to say, especially since the whole pandemic thing happened, I want to say it was about late 2019, about December, is when he made this prediction video about, there's something's going to happen in the year 2020. He was super vague about it, didn't give, any detail. He just said, something's going to happen and our life is going to change forever. And so on, remember March 17th is the day that I lost my job. And, then the whole entire pandemic happened. But here's the thing though. I feel like he's using the pandemic to make bank off of it, if you know what I mean. So in all of his videos, and I'm just going to talk a little bit before I react to this video. This is his newest video, by the way, but I'm going to talk a little bit before this. So he's basically one of those, new age YouTubers, and he seemed to be like, he has a good, sense about him. He's always had a good sense about him up until probably maybe a couple of years ago when the whole entire pandemic thing happened. Then he shifted his whole entire, whatever it is, premise of his channel. And now he's just simply making videos about how the government is after you and how COVID is a lie, and and it's an us versus them thing. And after researching tactics of certain cults and certain manipulative people over the last couple months, I've come to, reflect on a lot of these newer videos that he's posting, as this is something that if people take super seriously, take it to heart, this could be possibly not dangerous, like physically, not like someone's gonna go out and shoot up a fucking school or something. But this is this is kind of scary shit. Like what he's kind of brainwashing you with. The thing, his back, we know nothing about this dude. We know absolutely nothing about this dude. He says he's a lot of things. I'm a psychologist. I'm an infinite being. I'm a criminologist. He gives himself all of these titles. He says he's so many of these things, and And he just uses that to, push it through your head that, I am this person that is this master of, the mind. I'm the master of, conquering your mind or something. Which in reality, there is no such thing as a master. If you're a master, you do not exist in the third dimension whatsoever. You have to be dead to be a master, because as long as you are connected to this world as we know it, you are not, you can be a higher mind, but you'll always be connected to this world, aka the Matrix. And he talks about reality as a simulation too, which I believe it to an extent. I do believe that we live in a simulation, but it's the kind of stuff that, Ralph Smart says is, it seems like he's pushing a new age religion, when he talks to you, he talks like how an evangelical pastor would talk to about 135,000 people stuck into like an arena or something. And he's always, and seriously, he does this. He says he preaches to millions and millions of people, which if you actually look at his subscriber count, he has 1.93 million at this moment, which actually it has gone, I think it has gone down just a tiddly wink. But if you look at the views, 6 hours ago uploaded, he gets 17K views. And relatively, all the daily videos that he posts, except like maybe like a few of the lifestyle ones. There's one about the third eye that he uploaded that's got a few million views on it. But he acts like he's like, you know, he inspires millions every day. Like he inspires millions, and millions of people wake up to see Ralph Smart posting a video, and he just expects people to worship him as this new age evangelical fucking pastor or something. And that's the thing. And when I say evangelical, I'm saying this dude is basically demanding your money, and if you don't hand him your money, you're not supporting him at all one bit. If you're not buying the clothing, or if you're not, you know, sending him money through Cash App or sending super chats, you know, you're a part of the problem. And there's a lot of this shit that he does that is very contradictory to what he teaches. He teaches that money is a material object and that we should never be worried about it. But again, he pushes his merch. He pushes his Cash App. He pushes his super chats whenever he goes on a live. And it's just very kind of creepy to me. It's very kind of creepy. So anyways, I'm going to be done talking, and I'm going to react to this video. The thing about the little quirk that he does in all of his videos is you'll notice that he waits 3 seconds to start speaking. He's looking away from the camera right now because that's his little quirk. He waits 3 seconds, and then he does this weird ass shit that just reminds me of just some like Davidian, like just something weird. Like, you know, he's doing these chants. You know, he's doing these chants. I do not get good vibes off of this. I do not get good vibes off this. And I'm just saying before someone tears me up for this, I am 100%, actually no, more like maybe 75% invested into the new age shit. Like I am not against it whatsoever. But this kind of shit that he's pushing out, it's crossing this line with me that I feel like shouldn't exist, or it does exist. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on right now. So let's begin this video. Okay. Dude, that shit is just so damn weird. Breathe with me, deep divers. Breathe with me, breathe. And that is his opening little quirk that he's always had since actually day one, back in 2013 when he first started uploading. And it's kind of changed. She's put a little bit more energy into it, which, you know, it's kind of respectful, but it seems more of like a routine rather than something that he actually takes to heart. If any of you are wondering what he means by the cat down the road, I have about two separate definitions for it because there's not really anything solid. One of those is someone who is going through the same path of life as you, or one that I kind of found out myself through a little bit of meditation is the cat down the road is actually your future self. And he talks about the cat down the road a lot, and he's not very specific about it. and he'll repeat the title more times than I can even count. In the video, he repeats it. He uses it as some sort of psychological trigger. He uses a lot of these psychological triggers, I've come to discover, and I feel like he uses it to manipulate his audience at a time. And something you'll also notice too is that he prolongs his S's when he speaks. You'll find out later. Sorry, and he's also not wrong about that. They are taking away freedoms from us through this whole entire COVID thing. And he takes credit. He takes credit for predicting this whole entire, deal. And he has invested 1,000% into it. That he takes 100% credit for predicting the pandemic and everything that's happening around it. So if you're like an outsider and if you see this, you're just thinking like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this dude going on about? Be like, if it's someone that isn't me, I'd just be, thinking this guy sounds like a crazy man. But since, I'm into all that kind of shit, I understand what he's saying. But to an outsider and to probably someone with like, a lot of like sense, this just sounds like creepy stuff. Oh yeah, and this is also another thing. He peppers his ads. He peppers his videos very, very heavily with ads. Also, something about that too. He's also been starting to do this. This video is your confirmation that we're aligned or something. Ever since that guy came up on TikTok and he started doing that, Ralph has been copying him. Predicting the apocalypse is something that cults do. Which is true. Greece. He's slightly exaggerating this, but he is actually being pretty truthful about it, that they are taking away rights of people for this if they don't get vaccinated. Which he's also kind of right about that, because the town that I live in North Carolina, there are some shops that are not allowing people in their shops without a mask, if they do not present proof of vaccination, which actually goes against a HIPAA law. So a quick thing about that quote right there. I was actually watching a live stream of his, and someone sent a super chat in and actually said that love creates a world they cannot control. And slowly over time, Ralph has been incorporating that into like his everyday, saying of words in all of his videos. And he's kind of adopted, he's kind of stolen that term, even though he didn't come up with that term himself.
They are afraid of people uniting because people uniting reminds them that the 99% have all the power. They are afraid of people coming together because when people come together, they are empowered and remind themselves all the answers lie within. So I want to remind you.
He will also say throughout his videos, I will remind you, I've reminded you, I've told you, I've told you, I've reminded you, I told you. Because guess what? He said all of this shit in all of his videos. He just keeps recycling all of his shit. It just seems like he's just, doing his daily sermon.
There is some hope left. When you choose love, there is some hope left when you put aside your differences with other human beings and say, hey, let's unite, let's come
Which he's right about that.
together because right now it's looking kind of scary on the planet because I told you
I told you.
they want a world without you. That's right.
And see, he does this shit where he like points at his head like he's about to say something super profound, like he's using the power of his third eye to like make these words come out of his mouth, like he's using all of his energy.
If you're like,
He's got a superpower.
hey, I'm just going to be ignorant and forget about what's happening out there. Okay, you're going to wake up and it's going to be a rude awakening. You're going to wake up to a 1984 prison planet. We ain't even had breakfast yet.
Can I get a hello? Yeah.
How dare they do that? So, I've got a lot of friends in the UK,
How dare you? How dare you?
and they always message me. They're like, Ralph, I love your videos.
Okay, now this is where he's gonna start flexing his ego that supposedly doesn't exist. Like, he flexes his ego so goddamn hard in all of his videos. He's just like, wow, people always come to me and say, Ralph, you know everything. Can you give me the answers? And then I tell them the answer's already within you. Shit like that.
Help us in the UK out because they're now saying if you haven't had the double jab, you can't go into nightclubs, you can't go into certain places, and the world is slowly turning into an Orwellian nightmare.
True.
Please help. What can I do? Well, first and foremost, you can start speaking your truth, even if your voice shakes.
And those are words that I live by. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Those are some of his old school teachings right there. And that's something I definitely 100% agree with.
First and foremost, you can start reminding yourself that you aren't small, little me. You are
Pause.
powerful.
Powerful.
A spiritual being having a human experience, and therefore there's nothing to be afraid of because no one ever really dies and it can't be destroyed, only transferred.
See, if you're like a newbie to this shit, just like, this all just sounds like so damn weird. If you're not like a veteran of the Ralph Smart cult like me, like all of this sounds like crazy ass shit. Just like, being super like having existential proof of our existence or something, that we're immortal, which I believe in, but like it's just comes across really strange.
So when you remove fear from your reality, you can now step into your true power. They control you with fear day in, day out.
I told you, the media.
Is an entity. It's actually an ancient Greek goddess called Medea.
And he always does this too, where like he'll pick apart words and he'll find like the Latin meanings of them, and he'll just be like, Medea is the media, and Medea was the goddess of illusion.
One of her traits was cunning, and this is why the media works for the government. The media is the government's PR. This is why they always make you afraid. Public relations PR, Edward Bernays. He started to realize how you can manipulate people
And he does know the psychology of the media. He is a he did study psychologist when he went to university. He's not a registered psychologist. He just studied psychology. So whenever he says he's a psychologist, that's like 9,000% cap right there. He's not a registered psychologist. He doesn't, he gives like, you have to pay like $300 for you to have like a face to face with him, and he claims to give you self help, but he's not a psychologist. He cannot, go out and give people like, mental health advice. He's just, this guy, this guru on YouTube.
What they want is your attention. What they want is you to be in a state of fear. They control you through these forms of fear. You look at the news. Why is it always bad news? Why is it always fear-based? Because that's the only way they can control you. So, to counteract that, make sure you let love guide you, not fear. Grief. Oh my gosh. Another person merged here. Bad accident. Always put you in a state of grief. So much sadness in the world. No, there's so much beauty in the world. You have to allow yourself to remind yourself what they show you. Everything is in reverse.
You can also tell that he's clearly ad-libbing all of this, because he repeats his words a lot. He says "remind" a lot. That's one of his words that he says a lot to try to get inside your head. Like, he's already told you this. He's already told you this, and he'll even say that too. I told you. I told you. I told you. And here's the little challenge: drink every time he says "I told you." You will be fucking paralytical.
The beautiful world. Come outside, look. You got the cat down the road on that tree. Hey, be careful. You got butterflies around. But if you just watch TV, which programs you, that's why it's called a TV program. If you just watch the news, you would think that you're living in a terrible world. And that's what they want. Because when you are in fear, you give up your power.
Fear is the lowest vibration anybody could have in the third dimension.
How dare they do that? I'm a psychologist, divers.
See, he said it. I'm a psychologist, and he says he's a lot of things if you watch his videos over a long period of time.
And what? You give up your power.
Oops.
What a narcissistic person does
What?
to manipulate their victims is something called gaslighting.
And that is something that Ralph actually does. Is if you don't watch my videos, you will be scared. And he does this form. He does a very subtle form of gaslighting that I could recognize. That I'm just like, yeah, nah, you're kind of contradicting yourself there, buddy.
And gaslighting is when you make someone doubt their own sanity. Like, maybe I'm going mad. Is it all in my mind? Maybe I should just do what everyone else is doing. Get a triple jab, go along, just stay in lockdown, just do what Simon says. Yes, you should, because if you think that something else is going on, that's all in your mind, okay? Snap out of it. You COVIDian. They created that term COVIDian to stop people waking up.
That's also like the 50th time he said, more than 50 times actually. He says that probably in every single one of his videos that he uploads every day, that you're a fucking COVIDian if you believe this. And like he just, I don't know, he recycles his shit a lot. I told you.
The term conspiracy theorist was created by the CIA to stop people coming out and speaking their truth.
Which is true, but he pushes that.
Remind yourself of these forms of manipulation, the psychology of gaslighting. When people were protesting all around the world, especially in London, one of the biggest protests, the media was not talking about it. And when they did
Yeah, that fucking protest in London was absolutely crazy.
report it, they said, hey, a few people were disorderly. Hey, can you see how they're only showing you what they want you to see? Because if you can control perception, you can control reality. What? Slow motion this side.
Yeah, whenever he thinks he says something profound, he does that shit.
Therefore, to free yourself, you must remind yourself to take your power
Now, this is where the first little instance of us versus them comes in, which an us versus them dynamic is present in the in cult culture.
Turn off their world and turn on your world, which is the internal reality which governs everything anyway. You see, this whole matrix was designed to keep you in a low frequency. So the moment you wake up, it's bad news. What?
The Matrix was designed to keep you in the third dimensional state of mind, but it's all up to you to reach the fifth dimensional state of mind, which is the state of mind of love.
Future do the children have if they're living in the midst of a global pandemic? They've got anxiety, they're afraid, they can't play with their friends. Is this the world you want for your children? Where do the children play? Great song. Where do the children play? Many children are not even in school. Many children have huge anxiety.
Many children have a huge anxiety. He's ad-libbing the shit out of this.
They have lost their social skills, and this is exactly what the inorganic ones want. They want
That's another thing too. He talks about like the global elites as the inorganic ones, and he uses that as more of like an object for the us versus them thing and the whole entire cult culture sort of thing.
a world without touch, no feeling. A world without smiles, no meaning.
He repeats that.
Desensitize you. So you think this is normal. How dare they do that? How dare they take away your precious life experience?
How
Come here
dare you?
to be at the mercy of someone else, to be at the mercy of government, because government actually means govern mind control.
He does that shit so much where he'll just pick apart a word and just like overthink the absolute shit out of it. He's not wrong about it. It's just like he's just I don't know, it's very just overthinking like
But also that you should learn how to form a sovereign nation within yourself. Slow motion this side. And you should learn how to master your mind and create your own internal government. Because when you allow external forces to govern you, you will always be at the bottom. You will always be programmed.
that's another thing too, is that if you do not wake up, if you do not listen to the words I say, you will always be at the bottom. You will never wake up. You will just be programmed just like everybody else if you don't listen to the words I'm saying that are coming out of my mouth.
Misled. Kamala Harris,
Harris.
President of the United States,
S-
said, hey, God would want you to get vaccinated.
That shit's funny as fuck.
About loving thy neighbor. Like I told you, deep dive is a stage. And this is humanity's last chance to read between the lines, to wake
Humanity's last chance. Give me money.
up, to say, wait a minute, something is not adding up. Because when you have every single country in cahoots around the world, this shows you that all of these presidents and prime ministers, they are employees of the inorganic ones.
The inorganic. Oh, I told you.
Everything you see with the two eyes
All right, take 2 drinks. He said it twice or 3 times already. I've lost count.
is the illusion. The only thing that's real is what you see with the first eye, or what they call the third eye. When you open that, you start to realize that this is all a script. All of these people are actors reading off the same script.
There's another ad. Another ad. Because money doesn't matter.
Slow motion this side. How dare they do that? Well, they will continue to do it unless you say something, unless you stand together united, unless you say, actually, this is not the way it's going to go. I'm going to choose how it's going to go. How dare they do that?
How dare you?
Humanity's last chance. You see, I told you.
Oh, there it is again.
Always this talk of the number 144,000, the chosen ones.
He's made 2 videos about this, and he just keeps repeating it in all of his videos. He's just fishing for content just so goddamn hard.
They are awake and aware. The majority of people won't make it because a lot of people are still here to learn these lessons. That's why I told you.
I told you.
There's nothing you can do.
Drink again, boys.
All you have to do is focus on yourself and share with the people you want to hear. A lot of people you know, certain friends and family, they're looking at you like you're the crazy one.
Okay. Now this is where it comes into play. Cult teachings will tell you to abandon your family if they don't accept your views, or abandon somebody if they don't have the same views as you. And he's basically, he's making a border between these people and these people. It's these people against these people. Feel me?
Oh my gosh! I just got a triple jab. I'm happy to be in lockdown. I'm happy to wear a face mask 24/7.
I will be happy to make a vaccine video soon detailing my opinion about this, but I'm not going to go into that right now.
What are you talking about? That's because there are levels to this shifty diapers. There are levels of consciousness. A lot of young children, and this is why a lot of young children all around the world, they are standing up in their power. They are standing up for their freedoms. They can see this whole thing for what it really is because they are old souls reincarnating. And that's why you don't have to worry about the youth. Because a lot of the youth, they know what time it is. And I want to remind you, that's the good news. The good news is that a lot of people are refusing to drink the Kool-Aid. You see, there's something called learned helplessness, and what we see happening around the planet is a great example of learned helplessness.
You can tell his background in psychology because he can describe learned helplessness pretty damn well, a lot better than I could explain it. But he'll talk about it.
Learned helplessness in psychology. Let me give you an example. I keep you in lockdown for 6 months. Then I say, hey, it's Freedom Day. It's Freedom Day in the UK, right? It's Freedom Day. And guess what? People say I don't care about freedom anymore. I'm going to stay in lockdown. I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to continue to do what I was doing before.
And he described that just about as on point as you can possibly get it. That is basically learned helplessness, and he's just pointing out to all of us that there's a lot of us that have this learned helplessness that aren't able to integrate back into normal society.
Because I'm not free. Don't tell me I'm free. You open the door, but people still stay inside because I told you. When you have been doing something for 28 days, you form a new habit. You create a new neural pathway. And a lot of people have been programmed to stay in lockdown, to be in fear, that this is all they know. And that's why when we talk of breaking this program, you got to remind yourself, everything you are doing is changing your biochemistry, is changing your neurocircuitry. And therefore, you have to be careful about even your own habits. If you are always in fear, now you're addicted to that.
True.
If you're always, like Ralph Smart in The Heart of Nature, you're always addicted to raising the frequency.
The thing is, you don't have to be in nature every single day to appreciate life. I'm sorry, appreciate life. Like, I could be at work 5 days a week, and I can still appreciate life. Why? Because it's all a mindset.
See, how dare they do that, deep divers? Prepare yourself for humanity's last chance.
I told you.
Mainstream celebrities, they are employees of the inorganic one.
The inorganic ones.
Dumb down the masses. They were given a job to dumb down the masses. They were given a job to keep people fast asleep. They were given a job to make sure people do not wake up. But check this out. There's a turning of the tide. Right now, what you are seeing is that a lot of people are now choosing to do the right thing. A lot of mainstream artists are even finding some courage to speak some truth. And I'm not here to bash mainstream artists because I told you,
Told you.
you are not your star. All of those celebrities are clones.
True.
You are a star. Roll out
True. Gucci Mane is a clone. Confirmed.
the red carpet for yourself. You're not supposed to be
I told you.
The inorganic
The inorganic ones. I told you the inorganic ones
separation.
create separation. Yes.
I told you.
I told you.
Of 7.8 billion people, nobody should be isolated. Ping! What was that? Oh my gosh, it's the COVID app. It's the COVID app.
Fucking cringe as shit.
Stay in isolation, Ralph. You must be out of your damn mind. Because I'm a nature being. That's impossible. I
I,
told you. With this AI agenda,
like, he just sounds like so damn delusional. He's just like, I'm in nature. I'm invincible. Like, nothing can kill me.
the human 2.0, where they want to turn you into a humanoid. That's what this is all about. And by the way, Jeff Bezos, come back. I see Jeff Bezos in space right now. Or was that just a green screen? Never mind.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was. Yeah. I don't know anything about that. I haven't been able to think about that a lot. But there is something. I get this weird feeling when I see Jeff Bezos in space.
Yeah, moon landings in a Hollywood studio. Never mind. Let me tell you this.
Let me tell you this. Space.
Because this is what it's all about. The wealthy, and we are the wealthy, by the way, but the wealthy in the Matrix, they are trying to leave this planet and make a prison planet here while they go off into space.
What gets me though is that how, if we live in the Matrix, we're stuck in the Matrix. We can't escape the Matrix. The only way we can escape the Matrix is if we die. Like, what happens if you go to space? Like, you can't escape the Matrix. These people aren't escaping. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're here with us. They're integrated here with us. Unless if somehow they just magically just flip off the switch and just be like, oh, okay. That's what I mean by, like, dimensions and whatnot. I don't know.
Why you're having huge space exploration, because they want to keep everyone here, divide everyone here while they go off to space. That's what the film Elysium was all about. And already they are creating a split, they're creating a divide. Okay? Because the divide is like, hey, I've been double jabbed, I can go to restaurants, theaters, cinemas. You have
He's right about this too. This is how they're going to start dividing people. It's the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. Black Lives Matter versus everybody else. Just it's they're it's just very I can't fucking speak. They are dividing people with these things they're putting in the media.
got to stay at home. So the only way they can control people is to put people against each other. Check this out. They are making you a second-class citizen in your own home.
And here's another cult tactic too he's using. He's putting fear into you that the government is always going to be against you and the government should be feared and you should fear the government and you should just never worship anybody. You should never worship anybody except Ralph Smart.
They are making you a second-class citizen when you were born free on this planet. Nobody owns this planet. Nobody owns you. So the mere fact that people can tell you what to do is absurd, preposterous.
Preposterous.
Take back your power. Get off your knees and start saying, actually, this is not how I came here to live. Now change happens. A lot of people are still in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are still getting their nappies changed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why when Simon says do this, they do that. Yes.
And here's something that, like, I say probably once every video. He says some shit that I'm just like, yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with what he's saying, his views on this stuff. Just, he recycles them. But I feel like it's always the same shit. Always the same shit. Just in a different tone of voice or a different choice of words.
It's time to stop being the cowardly lion, the tin man, and the scarecrow with ropes and balls. Because if you do not, you will have to tell your grandchildren, you know what, when they were looking down the planet, taking away all of our freedoms, getting the vaccination passports, I was doing nothing. I was scared. And I told you.
I told you.
Manifestation. Love activates manifestation and boosts your immune system. I'm protected. Choose love over everything. Deep dive and
I haven't seen this video, but I guarantee you, in probably the next 10 seconds, he's going to start talking about vegan shit. And that's something that I will get to in a later video. But you should not be listening to his food advice. There we go. There we fucking go. Eating foods. Full frequency foods. Hot dogs. We can't afford your lifestyle, Ralph. You know, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, we can't afford your lifestyle. We can't afford to go out and just eat raw food diets every single goddamn day. Like, it's. I did that one time, and I went almost broke in a single week, and it just did not work out. God damn. No, I didn't. I had some orange juice. Let me talk to you. Oh, there's another ad. Another ad. Because money doesn't matter to this man. Let me talk to you. Consume will consume you. What you consume will consume you. I'm just saying, I'm probably not going to be able to travel in the future because I'm not getting a damn vaccine. I just said something important. Mm-hmm. Listen, the Great Conjunction shit, definitely, something I take very, very seriously. Something I take very, very, very seriously, and there was a lot of stuff that happened to me in the past few months ever since the Great Conjunction happened. Mm-hmm. Don't go to hell. And that just sounds like some cult shit. When you ascend, you will be above everybody. Come with me, deep divers. Drink the Kool-Aid with me, we shall escape the Matrix. thing is, though, not enough people are gonna say enough is enough, and we're just gonna let everything go. I'm just saying I'm not like that. I'm saying enough is enough. I'm not doing that shit, but it feels like it's me and a handful of people that are doing that, and I feel like it's just not enough, man. And that is a psychological trigger to tell you the video is over, and now we get into the merch plugging part. I'm sorry, the merch plugging and the ego flexing part. Breathe in. God damn. Is he not gonna plug his merch? There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes. Oh my god. I thought he wasn't gonna plug his merch. I was nervous for a second. Yeah, here we go. Stay off media, but follow me on the media. Dude, I'm so tired of that. Okay, he says it's a new book. I check. Okay, hold up. I don't trust myself to go on my Safari. But his book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, as you can see right there, that book came out in 2013. He says it's new. He says it's best-selling. It's not new. It's not best-selling. He's saying that to manipulate your mind into buying his shit. It's not new. It came out, oh shit, what is this year, 2021? It came out 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And it never reached any sort of like best-selling point. He's using that to manipulate you into thinking, oh, I'm buying a quality item. Bullshit. And there's his closing to his sermon. It's always the same shit that he closes his sermons with. So before I close off here, let's take a look in the comment section. Lots of brainwashed people in here. There are some people in here that, seem to have a pretty, stable mindset. But then there will also be those few people that are just like, thank you, Master Ralph. Thank you so much for these words of wisdom you gave us. Thank you so much. I will go to bed and meditate on what you've just told me today. Thank you for your wisdom. It's those kind of people that are very toxic, and those are the most hostile people too. I've been kicked out of Facebook groups because of those people. I don't know, that like, it just seems like a mob mentality. Anywho, that's where I'm going to call it off. So if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it a lot. And give me a comment on what you guys think about this, because I've got a lot more to say about this. I can't really fit it all into like a single, half hour, 45-minute one. I feel like I have a page written down on, talking points, but I feel like that that video will be coming soon or something. I don't know. I'm a procrastinator, so I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in today, and y'all have yourselves a good one.